4,500 years ago, on the dusty edge of the Libyan desert, the nation of Egypt did not merely set out to build a monument for their king, they set out to construct a mountain. To the ancient mind, the king was the living link between the chaotic earthly realm and the perfect, unchanging order of the cosmos. When he died, his journey to the stars had to be absolute. To secure the cosmos, they needed to build something that would defy time itself, the horizon of Khufu. The story of the pyramid begins not with desert sand, but with water. Every summer, the Nile River burst its banks, flooding the valley and turning the landscape into a massive inland sea. For any other civilization, this would mean a halt to society. For Egypt, it was the opening of a highway. Deep in the southern quarries of Tura, workers labored under a blinding sun to cut away the finest, brightest limestone. These were not random stones. They were the outer skin of a wonder. Loaded onto heavy, flat-bottomed wooden barges, these multi-ton blocks floated smoothly across the flooded plains, bringing the mountain directly to the foot of the Giza Plateau. Once on land, the true genius of the ancient world took over. We often imagine brute force, but the Great Pyramid is a triumph of unmatched precision. Every single block of stone, over 2 million of them, was cut entirely by hand using simple copper chisels and wooden mallets. The master masons worked with a level of accuracy that rivals modern engineering. They used simple linen strings, stretched taut across the stone to check for flatness. If a block was off by even the width of a fingernail, it was chiseled again. They marked each finished piece with red ink, signing the names of their proud crews. The crew of Khufu endures, the vigorous gang. These marks were never meant to be seen by human eyes. They were a testimony to the gods. Moving these colossi was a feat of pure human synchronization. Without the wheel, without iron, and without cranes, the Egyptians relied on the physics of friction and the power of the human spirit. They built massive, sweeping ramps out of mud, brick, and gravel that snaked around the rising core of the structure. Teams of 40 men, their muscles straining against thick hemp ropes, leaned forward in perfect unison. Ahead of the wooden sledges, water pourers carefully wetted the clay tracks, turning the mud into a slick, lubricated surface. With every rhythmic shout of the gang leader, the 2-ton block groaned forward, inch by inch, climbing higher into the sky. But who were these people? For centuries, history whispered tales of thousands of slaves driven by the whips of cruel pharaohs. The dirt of Giza tells a completely different story. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the desert in deep shades of crimson and violet, the workers descended from the plateau into a massive, bustling city built just for them. This was a highly organized community of free, skilled citizens. Excavations have revealed massive bakeries turning out tens of thousands of conical loaves of emmer wheat bread daily, and specialized kitchens preparing high-protein meals of prime beef, mutton, and thick, calorie-rich beer. They were well-fed, highly respected, and medically cared for. Inside the warm, fire-lit barracks, away from the dust of the quarry, these men gathered as families and crews. An older, experienced mason would share a bowl of beer with a young apprentice, rubbing oil into his blistered hands. They spoke of the work, of the crops back home, and of the legacy they were leaving behind. They knew the grueling labor was temporary, but the result would be permanent. To them, working on the pyramid was not a sentence of forced labor. It was a profound civic and religious duty. They were quite literally tying their family names to eternity. For over 20 years, this rhythm continued until the structure reached its breathtaking zenith, nearly 500 feet into the air. The pyramid was then encased entirely in polished white limestone, smoothed down until it caught the Mediterranean sun, reflecting light like a brilliant, blinding mirror visible for miles. At the very peak, using an intricate system of wooden levers and cranes, the final stone was readied, the pyramidion, a capstone carved from a single block of dark, polished granite. As it slid into its final, permanent resting place, a roar went up from tens of thousands of voices on the plains below. Deep inside the silent, cool heart of the monument, in a chamber of red granite, an empty sarcophagus waited. The horizon was complete. The king had his gateway to the stars, and humanity had proven that with unity and precision, they could build something that would outlast the world.